mathematician who died in 2008. And this concept makes up part of chaos theory, which is a well-known branch in the field of physics. In simple terms, the butterfly effect is the notion that minute causes will eventually have massive effects. It was initially illustrated by the idea of a butterfly flapping its wings in the Amazonian jungle, which subsequently causes a storm to ravage in Europe. And I will share with you just a few examples of this notion in application. Did you know that in the early 1900s, a young Adolf Hitler applied to study at an art school? It is believed that during this process, he was rejected by a Jewish professor. By his own estimation, which is shared by many historians, this rejection ultimately shaped his metamorphosis from an aspiring bohemian artist to the embodiment of evil. Now, of course, we can only speculate how different history may have unfolded and how much tragedy could have been averted if Hitler had merely limited himself to watercolors. What ultimately happened, however, of course, is the wise qadar decree of Allah, and this is an example of the butterfly effect. Did you also know that both world wars were sparked off by the mere wrong turning of a car? On the 28th of June 1914, a teenage Bosnian Serb called Gavrilo Princip went to Sarajevo with two other nationalists to assassinate the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, who was the immediate heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The initial assassination attempt failed. A bomb exploded beneath the car behind the archdukes and wounded the occupants. So having believed that the plan had failed, the assassin made his way home and stopped off for a sandwich on Franz Joseph Street. Meanwhile, the driver of the Archduke was supposed to redirect his vehicle to an expressway to facilitate a high-speed escape. Somehow, however, this crucial message was not properly communicated, and the driver made the fatal mistake of turning onto Franz Joseph Street. The assassin, with the sandwich in his hand, realized that a golden opportunity was standing right before him. He rushed towards them and at point-blank range killed both the Archduke and his wife. The assassination sparked a deep political crisis, and the superpowers of the world started to blame one another, and within 1 week, World War I was underway. This bitter conflict lasted for about 4 years and resulted in the death of around 15 million people. This paved the way for a humiliating peace treaty for Germany, which included a guilt clause. This clause required Germany to accept the responsibility of Germany and her allies for causing all the loss and damage during the conflict. The treaty required Germany to pay billions of dollars to the Allies. This humiliating defeat provoked the anger of Germans and sparked a wave of nationalistic fervor in the country. These conditions were vital for enabling the rise of Hitler, whose expansionist ambitions paved the way for the Second World War. Now, this latter conflict was far bloodier than its predecessor and resulted in